Finn is what holds your party together, and by that I mean this role has been beaten so hard that these horses have turned into glue. Let's get his digits. He has a really nice defense, actually, a terrible resistance, which we'll come back to that point in a moment. An okay attack and speed. Let's see what he swings with. Brave Lance Plus, so we're going to go ahead and lower his speed, so it was already at a level where we didn't care. And he doesn't have an impressive attack value now, but now he has a good Brave Lance in that spot, and that's pretty nice. Miracle is his special, meaning whenever he dies, he comes back, as long as he wasn't at 1 hit point to begin with. Looking at the rest of his kit, he has attack and defense +2, which is actually really nice. It works well on him. It works well on a couple other builds. Not enough for me to say this is fantastic, but there are a few builds where this has been the optimal thing, and I honestly haven't even suggested it because just no one ever had it. Because of the way it's available. So that's a thing. And also Goad Cavalry is there, so now you can have your horses buffed up using him instead of having to rely on Camus, which is Camus, which is out there now, and the Reinhardt. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and just go right into the first build, a budget build. As always, I like to give you budget builds so that you could just get a unit and basically use it as quickly as possible. And this build is actually almost as generic as possible. As a matter of fact, I call it the Able. What we're going to do is give him Death Blow on the A slot. In the B slot, have Swordbreaker. Switch up his special for Luna. And where this particular kit shines is just being able to charge right into something, double tap it, and usually it's gone. If it's still standing, then you're going to get that extra oomph after the fact with Luna and with that pop that it's going to give you with those extra 2 hits. So honestly, the rankings for this thing is really crazy. It pretty much goes after all the red, which is amazing. That's what I think that you should have a unit do. So I wholeheartedly encourage this. If you got yourself a Finn, don't know what to do with it, go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and go into 2 full builds here for you. We're going to evaluate one a little bit more in depth than the other. But I want to say, to speak to the comment in the very beginning of the video, it's true. I mean, whenever Oscar came out, in my opinion, Oscar was the best blue horse unit, period. And he was demoted to 4 stars. It was like a gift to everybody. I still feel that way. However, Oscar and Finn can sort of be interchanged in a couple of corner situations. And that's about it. The only reason why I'm not standing here going, yes, Finn is the best thing ever, is because, one, I mean, if you just do a generic kit switch, which this almost was, he performs just as well as Abel, he performs just as well as Frederick, he performs just as well as Perry, and you can't tell me you didn't get a 5-star pity rate breaker before they switched the pools on that. You have one staring you in the face. Either you foddered it off for slaying Lance fodder, which is great. But regardless, no, I'm not excited about Finn, but he performs very well. But instead of like just rehashing some things with these next 2 builds, I have 2 builds that you don't usually see on horse units like this anyway. Although this next one's sort of what I like to call the Eldigan, because I think it's a part of his best setup. What we're going to do here is we're going to go and give him Brash Desperation. This is nice. If you haven't thought of this already, it's because you don't have the Brash Assault Seal, and I am sorry. I'm sorry. I hope it comes back around eventually. I mean, they did say if you ever get a duplicate seal, you just get 300 feathers. They planned for this. I would hope to see some of those old seals come back. But regardless, so if you do have this set up, it works out well for him. It works out stupidly well for him. He is so aggressive. You can see 2 ratings up here. The aggressor rating that I give, along with any other ratings I give, are from a scale from A to F, where S is practically perfect in that niche. You could see some S's. And whenever you see this, basically it's just a gray lettering on how, specifically for aggressor, how many 1-hit kills he's going to get. So he's a wonderful beast. Even before you kit him out, even better now. So that's the thing. I don't recommend it for PvP. If you're trying to put it in a PvP arena, I mean, when it comes down to it, these skills are all low scoring. These skills are finicky. If you could put them in a Tempest trial. If you do this for the Tempest trial, that's going to be enough to get through a lot. And that's why this is here. It has that extra oomph that you need to be able to just plow through things. And so if you have the Brash Assault Seal, if you have the extra Desperation fodder, heck, I mean, since you're not putting this in arena, you can make do with Desperation too. Put that on him, let him run at the enemy. It's going to be so much fun. This next build, though, is the one that I would recommend if you're going into PvP arena. I really do like this build a lot. I kept Miracle on here. That was sort of a personal challenge to me. I wanted to keep Miracle. Because keeping Miracle, I wanted to be like, okay, well, that's sort of like the only unique thing about him. You could put Miracle on anybody, but what can you do with it? This is what you could do with it. This build is actually a lot of fun, okay? So we have Sturdy Blow on here. He technically doesn't need the armor boost from this unless you go ahead and just carry him right into some PvE content, because anything he kills, he's going to kill on those 2 hits. And then everything else, there is a margin where things don't kill him, but then a lot of other stuff will just plow him over. So really, it's there to help get points, because then he has Renewal, and then I recommend Attack Smoke as the C slot. If you want to know if you can use it as a seal, sure, I have some text around here somewhere talking to you about seals. What the idea of this is that you can just send him in to go maul something over, let it die, and then he should be able to weather the storm, because, well, he has an okay hit point total. It's like really just barely under acceptable for a tank as far as I'm concerned, but he has a pretty decent defense. Attack Smoke is going to ensure that anybody who's right around is going to help him out there. He's already got the color to resist most of the high damage dealing units out there, like the Ira and stuff like that. And then on top of that, he just has Renewal, so he's going to recover the hit points. He has Miracle, which is going to be continually fed with Miracle. Honestly, if you treat him aggressive and don't throw him in front of a green unit, you can reasonably expect Finn to trigger Miracle twice by the end of an entire combat. It works. It works. I don't run this because I need arena points, and that's where he actually falls flat for a lot of people. He is a better option than most other characters that are out there, except for he won't get the merges, so you could actually build something that is better than this Finn. That combined with that he doesn't have any unique skills really puts a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I think he's a nice little unit to have around, but that's the thing. He's a nice little unit. A lot of people look at this and go, it's Finn! It should be so much better! And I am so sorry if you are in that camp. But honestly, looking at the, let's go to the obituaries. We've had this up here long enough. Let's go into the obituaries, into the DPT, Deltran's PvP threats, link down the doobly-doo to find out who is in that. This is basically a curated list of PvP threats I've created so that we can easily converse, and this is the win-loss record right here. So we're talking 17 and 11. With Deathblow, you get more wins and losses. So, yeah, you could do that, but you're also going to be losing out on some arena points with him, and since we're evaluating arena, I figured that's what would be important in this particular case. So, regardless, he's going to go ahead and have a pretty decent initiation. The people you want to keep him away from are the people you would want to keep him away from, and you don't want him to necessarily get hit without doing that first initiation, because honestly, while the loss record here, the 0 and 29, is if everybody is like debuffed, that turns into an okay record. It gets a bit better once Attack Smoke goes out there, and after he's already charged up a bit of his Miracle, it works out great. So let's just assume that you don't put Quick Impulse in his slot. He's walking into combat with a 5. Brave Lance is 2. The Retaliation's 1. Gnarly! I didn't plan that, I'm sorry. So, you know, he has 2 hits left of that. And when it comes down to it, oh, wait a minute, he's not going to get a Retaliation. That's right, you kill things. So he does have 3 left over, but if you don't put him next to the green, he's going to actually weather that storm. He'll go ahead and do a little tap back hit, he'll kill that unit, and then the next unit, he could stay up there, because then he's going to get miracled. And it is great. I just don't see a downside to this. It works out rather well. It's more finicky than what people like to have for PvP Arena. If you put this on your defensive team, I can guarantee you're going to get some wins this season. So what do you think? Were you for free, or do you wish that you had to drop your wallet just so he was a little bit different? Let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor, if you'd like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.